good evening, classmates. So, the topic that will be discussed are the introduction to ethnography and ethnolinguistic research. So, the word ethnography comes from Greek words ethnos, meaning people, and graphing, meaning writing. According to Wolcott, 1999, ethnography is a description of the customary social behaviors of an identifiable group of people. So, ethnography is a kind of qualitative study in which it is necessary to include oneself in a certain group or organization in order to observe their behavior and interactions intensively, since its utmost purpose is to gain a holistic understanding of a social or cultural group. In simple words, it is the description of people and their way of life. On the other hand, ethnolinguistics is considered with the study of the interrelation between a language and the cultural behavior of those who speak it. To sum it up, ethnography and ethnolinguistics is pertaining to culture, language, human behaviors and beliefs, and how individuals are shaped by their social environment. So, what is linguistic borrowing? So, in linguistic, borrowing, also known as lexical borrowing, involves copying a word that analyzing belonged to one language now being used into another language. Thus, this process entails two things: the borrowing language and source language. So, the borrowing language adapting words from the source language due to their particular reasons. The words that are borrowed called loan words, or it can be called borrowings. Through the centuries, loan words are very common and undeniably become essential part of the language, to the point that even native speakers can't say where the word originated. Loan words make language learning a bit easier because the odds are that you already know some of the words based on your existing language skills. So we have some examples here. So the first is Latin words. So the words are agenda, ambiguous, naive, tentative. So the second is Greek words. So we have music, dinosaur, phobia, galaxy. So the third is French words. So we have money, denim, habit, and modern. So the last is German words. So we have Nodel, nickel, kindergarten, and angst. We have two types of borrowing. So the first is direct borrowing and the second is indirect borrowing. So direct borrowing refers to the act of copying or paraphrasing someone else's words, ideas, or content without proper attribution or acknowledgement. We have three subtypes of direct borrowing. So first is cultural borrowing. So cultural borrowing refers to the process of adapting, incorporating, or being influenced by elements from another culture into one's own cultural practices, traditions, or experiences. Example: in contemporary fashion trends, designers often incorporate traditional patterns or motifs from various cultures into their designs without fully understanding their cultural significance. So this can lead to appropriation rather than appreciation if not done with proper respect for the original culture's history and context. So the second is we have core borrowing. Refers to the practice of incorporating fundamental concepts, ideas, or principles from existing works into one's own research or writing while giving proper credit to the original authors. So it involves building upon existing knowledge on, and contributing new insights or perspectives. So example, a student submits a research paper where they have copied large sections from an online article without providing any citations or quotations marks. So, this constitutes plagiarism as the student has failed to attribute the original source of the information correctly. So, the third, we have therapeutic borrowing. So, it refers to the practice of incorporating therapeutic techniques, interventions, or approaches from existing sources into one's own research practice while giving proper credit to the original creators. It involves adapting and integrating established therapeutic modalities to suit the specific needs and goals of research participants. So, example, a research conducting an ethnographic study on mental health among indigenous communities incorporates traditional healing practices into their data collection methods. By integrating indigenous healing ceremonies into interviews or focus groups, they create a safe space for participants to share their experiences while respecting their cultural. So the second types of borrowing is we have indirect borrowing. It refers to the act of using or incorporating informations, ideas, or content from a source that been created or published by someone else. Unlike direct borrowing, which involves copying or paraphrasing the exact words from a source without proper attribution, indirect borrowing involves summary, synthesizing, or referencing the work of others in one's own words while still giving credit to the original author. So we have three subtypes of indirect borrowing. So first we have calque or loan translation. Refers to the process of translating a word or phrase from language into another by using existing words or phrases in the target language. It involves creating a new word or phrase that conveys the same meaning in the original word or phrase in the source language. So for example, brick a leg is a loan translation from Italian conveying good luck while maintaining its literal meaning with English-speaking cultures. Calque or loan translation plays an important role in cross-cultural communication by allowing individuals from different linguistic backgrounds to understand and communicate effectively across languages while preserving meaning and cultural context within their respective communities. It contributes to language development by introducing new words and expressions. So the second is we have loan shifts. Refers to a linguistic phenomenon where words or phrases are borrowed from one language and integrated into another language, often with slight modifications to fit the phonetics, morphological, or syntactic patterns of the target language. So this is the example of loan shifts. So the last is we have loan blends and hybrids. Are linguistic terms that refer to specific types of loan words or borrowed words in a language. They are formed when elements from two or more languages are combined to create new words or expressions. Example of loan blends and hybrids. Brunch. This term is a combination of breakfast and lunch, referring to a meal eaten in the late morning or early afternoon. So, I guess that's all my part. Thank you.